You are now listening to the iWalter Show. Real talk about nothing.
Faster than a speeding bullet, more powerful than a locomotive, able to leap tall buildings in a single bound. Look, up in the sky. It's a bird brain. It's a plane. It's iWalter. Yes, it's iWalter, strange visitor from another planet who came to Earth with powers and abilities far beyond those of mortal men. iWalter, who can change the course of mighty rivers, bend ears with his annoying voice, and who disguised as Walter Interranti, mild-mannered janitor for a great metropolitan newspaper, fights a never-ending battle for truth, nonsense, and the American way. And now, another exciting episode in the adventures of iWalter.
And here is another exciting adventure in iWalter land on Saturday, the 27th of June. Hey, you know what? I'm just going to kind of wing it tonight. I'm not going to try to screw up any stories unless it's something that really catches my eye. I didn't even bother to look for things tonight. I just want to kind of do something a little bit more laid back. Yeah, and it's funny. Unfortunately, today was another one of those lovely days. Started out that way, at least. I'm glad I did this because, just picking stuff up. So I'm just reading off the top of my head. And here it says, another man, 47, bitten by a shark in North Carolina. So that shark is definitely became, made its territory. This one just was posted as of, looking for the date, the 27th. So that's today, as officially. So, well, how could it be already up? Beachgoer 47 bitten by shark off the North Carolina coast in the fifth attack in the area in just 2 weeks. The unidentified man was bitten on his back and his right leg by a shark off. I'm sorry, I can't pronounce that name. Anyway, it says he was conscious and had been airlifted to Virginia for treatment. In the fifth attack along the North Carolina coast in the past 2 weeks, the worst attack was a 12-year-old girl and a 6-year-old boy out of, the ones that had happened. Just 2 miles apart at Oak Island on June 14th. So, yeah, but this is the fifth attack, they said. They mentioned, too, so where these two other ones are not mentioned or, it didn't make much press. Yeah, anyway, I got to work today, and it was only one of the two people I work with that were in today, and unfortunately, it was not very fun. And that being said, the one girl that was in today, she basically said, "Oh, yeah, I did all the trash and stuff," and I kind of like when somebody says they do something. That's generally a kind way of saying, well, I didn't really do all the work. So right away I go in, and I was cursing, I was hollering, I was ready to throw things. But I'm surprised there was no bloodshed that I had produced on other people. I'm being sarcastic now. But, yeah, there was a ton of trash I found. Things that were obviously overlooked. And not very, not making me a happy camper. And that being said, again, I try to contain myself, but I lost my temper quite a few times in the beginning of the night, and then it got just plain slow, so I was fine with that. Now, we're supposed to be getting to a slow point for the next a little bit of time, and, it should be, for the next week to 10 days, it should be pretty slow. I hope. So, because I'm just basically at this point, I'm looking to, I'll have plenty of time to do iWalter, because I'm getting tired of all the BS that I'm taking up with at my job. And I'm just surprised that the place I work is actually still alive. I'm sorry, I'm looking at this thing in a subliminal message of us. That it still exists. I'm surprised it hasn't, been closed down for multiple reasons. Anyway, on a different note, because I'm like just popping stories as I see them, because I mentioned some stuff today. I don't want to go into detail because one thing I have to mention that, I didn't realize I used the same mic I'm using now. Did a live record. Unfortunately, my sound levels, I didn't realize. That's why I listen to my shows. I listen back for mistakes. And I made one major mistake. I definitely had my levels, the recording levels, way too high, extremely high. So I'm trying to be more aware of that. Anyway, here's an article from thedailymail.com. Woman 28 who left 10 animals to starve to death, jailed after RSPCA found mummified remains of rotting in her home. And it actually shows pictures. Again, it's the Daily Mail. Warning: graphical content. Emma Clark left dogs, cats, rabbits, snakes, and lizards locked in cages. She told the RSCPCA she had rehomed the pets but left them to starve instead. I'm trying to figure that one out. So she had rehomed the pets but left them to starve instead. I don't understand that. One inspector said the case was the most horrific and saddest she had seen. Clark, who is this woman, was jailed for 18 weeks and banned from keeping animals for life. Some of the pictures are a bit hard to make out, but they are grotesque, if that makes any sense. These poor animals literally were starved to death. That was an article I found. You know what? It was just funny because tonight I had a slow night. I actually had time. You know what? There's this new TV series, by the way, on something a little bit lighter. I saw this the other day, and I'm curious about it now, this article. Before I go into this TV series, it's on Comedy Central, so I'm going to get back to it. Sorry, I have to read this one. I'm going to have to actually mark it, too. Before I get to this Comedy Central, and this one almost seems like a bad comedy. This article I'm looking at now, pretty nasty. And I saw it the other day, and I thought I lost it. This is why I wonder why people are so, obsessed about changing the way they look. More so in by getting, for this particular one, this woman getting breast augmentation. It's on the UK Daily Mail, and it says, I will risk my life for it. A woman with 30 pounds of breast begs doctors to remove her ruptured implant, despite being told she would die during the complex procedure. This was on the 26th, by the way. It says, on Sunday night episode of E! Reality series Botched Doctors, Paul Nassif and Terry Dumbrow. It looks like Dumbrow, but maybe it isn't. It's probably Dubrow. Tackled a patient's 20-year-old 3,000cc implants. D has the old-fashioned doubled lumen implants. Lumen implants. Featuring an internal lumen that is made up of silicon, which I heard is very dangerous. Most of them are saline now. All of them are. And an external lumen that is filled with saline. So it had a little bit of both. I never heard of that. The outer saline part of her implant had ruptured and caused her breast to deflate. D has not found any doctors who are willing to remove her implants because on how challenging and high risk the procedure is. Dr. Dubrow says the D causes case is nearly impossible. And it shows pictures, by the way, too. They look, to say the least, they look pretty nasty. Yeah, I don't know why this woman would ever get implants as big as she has them, too, as well. Especially, she looks a lot older than what they're stating that she is. Because I thought 20-year-old CCs. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to figure out, because this lady looks a lot older. And, yeah, those type of implants go back probably a lot further than I guess I thought she was. I assume they were saying she was like in her 20s. No, I guess that's how old the implants are that she had. They ruptured. Yeah, let me look for that, by the way, because I thought it was... Another funny story from that masturbation link, too. Caught my eye. Stop Masturbation Now, the original. It says their story. They put up different stories. You can find them on Facebook. It's an actual website. It's a joke website. Study masturbation residues found on 99.7% of discarded iPhones. And they're not even all iPhones. It's a joke page to begin with. Yeah, it's called, it's abbreviated B, capital, all caps, BLUFF, Bluff, Stafford, Arizona. Mobile phones and devices have become an increasing fixture in American life during the decade or two. It seems that one person can go, and then it goes on to the thing. I don't know if it'll go. Let's see if I can pick up where I left off. Okay, here we go. It seems that a person can go nowhere without finding citizens finding a way with fiddling away under with their noses in a cellular phone or tablet electronic device. I said I was going to do this, but this is just too good. Pastors, ministers have even reported that parishioners will be surfing up during Sunday church services. Oh my God, that's too funny. Anyway, you can find that. It's on stopmasturbationnow.com. .org, I mean. Sorry, I apologize. But that was pretty funny. Says today, I got to bookmark this one. Happy birthday to Tobey Maguire. He turns 40 today. The guy who played in Spider-Man. So, one of the Spider-Man, I should say, at this point, because now it's going to be 3 different ones. Yeah, so I want to find, because this show was really funny. I wanted to mention to a friend. I think he would like it. This comedy that I saw this afternoon. And before I even get there, I'm finding loopholes before I get there today, whatever. A friend had sent me, because, yeah, she's really hot, too, is Kelly Kuko. And it says, what you gone do with all that junk? It really says that, too. All that junk. That used to be the inside that trunk. That used to be inside that trunk. That's on TMZ Me and something on Kelly Kuko. Check him out. Kelly Kuko, fitness fanatic and purveyor of various versions of super hot bodies. Is looking super tight these days, and we gotta say, though, and it goes on. I'm not going to even go any further with that one. It just shows her in some spandex shorts and a bikini top. Yeah, Kelly Kuko is really hot. I haven't watched The Big Bang Theory lately, so I don't know what's going on with that. But a friend said it as a joke. Oh, yeah, here's something that's interesting. It's actually really sad. And it's on a website called boredomtherapy. Make sure it's .com. It is .com. And it's this little monkey. It's not, I forget what kind of orangutan. It's like a little infant monkey orangutan. I don't know. I really don't know. But this poor thing was, I guess, in some type of cage after it was born, and the thing was just really pathetic. It shows videos. It's a cute little thing, but yeah, it was like grown in a cage. It's almost like I remember when I was taking psych classes, they would do stuff like this. You would watch videos how, if you experiment with monkeys, that if you let the monkey grow up with its mother, it would develop less, less mental problems than a monkey that was, basically given a terry cloth and a piece of wire. Because I remember I had to watch that, and it was pretty hard to get through, but I did. And it kind of reminds me of that, though, with this little guy. It's got a video. It's got some cute stuff in there. So, yeah, but this poor thing was like, I guess, put in some type of little cage or something. So it had a hard time at first trying to adjust. That's still not the one. I need to find stuff that's less depressing. Oh, well, this one's actually kind of funny, so I got to pull it up. I'm still going to get there, by the way. This was in NewJersey.com, and different story. That is actually, it's NJ.com. It's actually on New Jersey's website. And it said, I just thought it was really funny, but it says, cereal poop smearer on loose in Ridgewood. So basically, it says village police are asking for public help in identifying a young man who has taken to smearing excrement on the walls of local businesses. I'm sorry, but I get a kick out of that stuff. I know it's not funny, but the guy's smearing shit on everything. Can you believe that? But yeah, that was on New Jersey's website. Before I even go down, I'm going to try to keep it lighthearted. It is the weekend. This was on the Daily Mail, a different story. And it was like somebody had taken a picture and they thought it was Michael Jackson in a cloud formation doing the moon dance or moonwalk. And it's called the King of Clouds. Storm formation that looks like a moonwalk, and Michael Jackson appears in sky 6 years after singer's death. So, that was on the Daily UK Mail. I thought Michael Jackson, personally, he got a bad rap towards the end of his life, and they just made him into a circus freak and a child molester. But you know what? Probably the man, in reality, he was just, so in the tabloids that probably in reality he was probably very harmless, and a lot of that stuff they brought out about him could have been actually wrong. Just a way of just making news, so to speak. Now, this is really getting me mad because, I'm sorry, not about that. I'm trying to look for this story. Oh, here it is. I would definitely, if you're interested in something a little different, because, I was actually ready to buy it. It's like, I can't afford to buy any more TV shows. I got enough on my plate already. That's all I need, but I'm almost tempted. It was like $20. It's a brand new Comedy Central show, and it's called Another Period. So it is pure satire. It is purely inappropriate. And I thought it was hilarious. I trying to keep from laughing at work, and it didn't work. I was actually laughing out loud pretty much throughout the show. But it's almost like a cross between, in my opinion, it kind of reminds me of a cross between, what is that one show? There's that one British show that's really popular, everybody talks about, and I'm drawing a blank. So I'm going to look it up because I think I can actually do this without making too much clickety-clack, I should say. If I can find it, because I actually have it on Amazon. It's something I wouldn't watch, honestly. I like a lot of British shows. There's that time period British TV show, and everybody talks about it. I know a lot of celebrities like it too. Oh, I don't want to do this. Don't want to do this, folks. Walter's going to probably end up doing it anyway. Let me put in popular British TV. What would you consider that? British TV series. And it better not be Doctor Who, because I know that'll come up. We're saying Sherlock, and it's obviously I should put drama in, I guess, which I didn't. I'm putting drama because that might pull it up. Okay. When you think of the show I just mentioned to you, think of Downton Abbey. Is it called? Because I've never watched the show, so is it Downtown? But another period is basically it's a mockery of, I think it's Downton Abbey or something like that. Downton Abbey. So if but it's basically it's making fun of shows like that. But this is American. They don't have fake British accents. They're not even British. It's just pure satire. Downton Abbey. If you like things like that, I'm trying to think what else it kind of remind me of, because I really don't watch many shows. It's only like 21 minutes too, so that's perfect for people like me who have an extremely short attention span. But yeah, I just stumbled upon it. I was like looking for stories for my for my show tonight, and I stumbled upon this, and it was like, you know what, this show is really funny. I'm actually might even plunge into the $20 and buy the show just so I can kind of get better copies. But you know what? It's on Hulu. It's on Comedy Central, and it's absolutely free if you want to go that direction. If you're lazy like me, then you go to other direction. You just pay the $19, and they say that, hey, that's said and done. So, there's a ton of stories I could probably pick from tonight, and I'm not going to botch any of them up. One would be, I could always tell you where to go. It was on the Daily UK Mail. Queen's Guard points rifle at tourists outside of Windsor Castle. After touching the soldier's shoulder outside of Windsor Castle, the gunsman points his gun at the man and barks, "Get back from the Queen's Guard." And they actually show, I think there's a video and some other stuff. Other than that, there's a lot of stories. I think I got to start the ball rolling with friends that they're about the whole, and this was on Daily Mail also, looks like. Yeah, it was on the Daily Mail UK. About this whole thing, and there's tons of stories now. I mean, it's just like oversaturated with them. But these stories about the Confederate flags, more and more people buying them. And there's yet another story. It was exclusive. Tear off the white hood. Obama wants KKK to be forced to name its members and supporters after the Charleston Church massacre. And that was in the Daily UK Mail. But there's like a ton of those stories about all this stuff. So, there seemed to be some ISIS attacks I wasn't really quite sure. There was like different ones. I'm looking at it now. There was like 3 different stories on ISIS. Why can't this thing be taken care of correctly? Why can't other even countries help out I guess we don't have the support we used to because we just have such a weak government at this point. Anyway, I don't know. I just can't believe it's gotten so out of hand with ISIS. But going back to the Confederate flags, there's this really well-built woman, brunette woman. A friend sent it as a joke, and it's a hot chick basically in a really skimpy bikini that looks like a Confederate flag. She's got huge breasts. Hourglass body, and basically she's doing a selfie in this bikini, and then it says somebody wrote on there, "I'm offended. Remove the flag slowly." So if you can picture that. So yeah. So I gave you a story on the amount of dirty cell phones from people masturbating, and the woman with the 30-pound breasts that basically burst, and one story on Kelly Kuko. Stories about the Confederate flag so far, and definitely watch out Another Period, TV show called Another Period. Very funny. Again, I'm just tempted just to be done with it and buy it either on Amazon or on my Apple, and just watch it that way, because it looks like something I'm definitely going to have to watch and be reminded of too. That's the only thing you get out of it, because it's absolutely free again. Hulu's giving away for free. They actually now, Hulu has something new. I guess it might be just for the pilot. I don't know if they're going to do that for the rest of this series, but you could watch one commercial that's a little longer, and then you can watch the entire show with no commercials on Hulu. And you don't even have to pay that extra money for that. That's free. It's free. Because I don't buy into those advertisements. So they're saying, oh yeah, well, the advertisers are basically, they are paying for the show, but they also, in response, they want people to buy whatever you watch on the advertisement. And guess what? The stuff that they show on these advertisements on the internet, none of that stuff did I ever buy. Now on TV, that's a different story. I fall for that stuff all the time. You know what? If I can keep this under half an hour, I'm going to try to, but I'm going to leave it with this one, Daily Mail exclusive. This was, I think, yesterday's dailymail.com. And there's a lot of pictures, but are these bits of metal proof that Amelia Earhart died after being captured by the Japanese on remote Pacific atoll? It doesn't look like atoll. Pacific atoll. Atoll? Maybe it's atoll. Anyway, and it says, and the U.S. government knew but covered it up. Basically, Earhart and the navigator Fred Noonan have not been heard of since July 1937, when they took off from New Guinea on the 30th leg of round-the-world flight. So that's what I knew her name for some reason. I thought I heard I just messed it up. It's a joke between me and a friend. I thought you said leopards. Anyway, bad joke. I botched it completely up at this point. But it goes on to say, but two investigators hope the mystery could be at an end within weeks. They believe that they have two vital bits of evidence proving they landed in the Marshall Islands that day. If correct, it could prove they died while in the hands of the Japanese military, and that the U.S. government decided Hero Pie was expendable. Basically, Amelia Earhart. So that's pretty interesting. You can find out on the Daily Mail. I'm just making sure I said her name right, though. I'm just thinking out loudly at this point, folks. Yeah, but she's pretty well known. I didn't even know that. I didn't realize that she possibly died under captivity, I guess, so to speak. So that's a shame. Anyway, I'm going to cut this show short. I have plenty I can always talk about, but I just want to cut it short. So everyone, have a good night. I'm signing off for the weekend.